So, we're back in the studio.
It is.
It's,
it was rough.
We had a week out. We used my son's room.
I know. I never know where to put my hands when we're not recording here. It's always weird. It's like Tagaday nights where I kept his hands coming up during the interview. Exactly how I feel.
That's probably how it should feel. But I told my son, I was like, hey, we might have to use your room sometime for the podcast. He's like, no, you're not using my room.
Wow.
Yep. You can go anywhere else but my room.
The baby hasn't said anything. He said no already.
Yep. And I was like, well, too bad, because it's time to do Enthusiast.
Yes! Oh my god!
Not bad. I like what you did there.
Thanks. What's up, everybody? I am one of your hosts, Will Zabo, alongside the man who's going to see Queen tonight,
I know. I'm really excited.
Jesse Nazario.
Really excited. Well, my wife's more excited, but I'm excited too about it. But does that mean I'm not doing the podcast? Absolutely not. Still doing it. That comes first over anything else. What's up, buddy? How was your week?
Not too
Went
bad.
back to work, huh?
Yeah, I did.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Nobody likes work.
No, not at all.
Work doesn't even like work.
No.
Do anything fun besides work?
Well, I got Splatoon 2.
I saw that, and then you sent me a very condescending message.
I haven't sent you a condescending
Oh, it
message.
was so condescending, I almost fist fought you.
Really?
Yep.
I was trying to inform you.
No, I'm kidding. I appreciate it. I went and did it right away.
Yeah. So, real quick, just to clarify, last week we said that you weren't able to turn off the motion controls in portable mode. Actually, it is very deceiving how you have to do it. You can't do it under the typical settings. You do have to hit X and go under these different settings, and then it's there. So, it is there. But
Still no multiplayer, though. I wasn't wrong about that. Split screen multiplayer at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Don't smell that. Smell that? It's terrible.
No, I don't.
That's me. Don't worry about it.
Oh, God. Anyway, but yeah, I played Splatoon, and at first, I was really enjoying it, and I slowly found myself not enjoying it as much the more I played it.
Mm.
And it's literally because I mostly have been playing multiplayer, and I play the single player every so often. It's fun, but it's okay. I don't really find it too challenging yet. I'm on the third world. I was just kind of like, eh.
I'm on the second.
But I was playing multiplayer, and I was having fun, but I always found the problem of, I got bored because I couldn't communicate with my team. And it was kind of like, oh, if I could just talk to these guys, it'd probably go a lot better. Because the other team would always be together. They would be working together, and then I would always find myself alone and just getting jumped by 3 guys. So it just kind of sucked, but
You didn't download that app on your phone?
I have the app, but it doesn't matter. You can only talk to your friends. And you're the only friend I know with Splatoon 2.
I'm never online. Never.
So literally, the game just kind of feels flat to me sometimes because I just get bored, and I keep finding myself going back to my PS4, playing Final Fantasy 12. I actually went back to play Final Fantasy 15.
That's a great game.
Yeah. I was gonna get the last bit of trophies that I was missing. I was missing 4, so I'm gonna go through and get
Doing
those.
some DLC for that soon, isn't it?
2 of the DLC packs are already out.
Word?
Gladius's story mission for when he leaves your party and then he comes back with the scar. It shows how he got the scars. So,
Do you kind of want to play that?
and then you have Prompto's mission from when he disappears. Remember, off the train when he falls
I
off.
do, yes. When you knocked him off yourself.
Yeah, and then the last one,
You're
which
like,
comes out.
Pronto!
Apparently, the next one comes out in August, and that's going to be Ignis's, which shows how he became blind.
You know how you went blind. Saw it in the game.
I thought it didn't. Maybe it's something else then. But we do.
Maybe the whole thing's black. All you hear is sounds. And they're like, you're playing, you really are. No, you're not. That's terrible. No, that's a great game. That's my favorite Final Fantasy. So I'm really excited. I might try that out eventually, sometime soon. Right now I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, though.
I saw.
Final Fantasy VII.
Enjoying it.
I am, again. I did not like it the first time. It sounded awful. I did not like it. Yeah. I did not like it the first time I went to play it again. I think it was just because I was like, that's what I wanted to ask you today. Sometimes you get so used to how games are set up nowadays. The free range, the movement, like Final Fantasy 15, it played so smooth. The way you moved, everything. To play the stiffness of Kingdom Hearts, and like I can go forward, back, side to side. That's it. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it'd be like if I went back in the day and played Shinobi for like Sega, and then like it's like, oh, I can go back and forth. That's it, forward and backwards. So
I actually understand that.
I don't want to sound jaded, but it's true. It's like as much as I love re-releases, sometimes it's hard to go back and play like an old school game. Like that's why I'm really excited to try Kingdom Hearts 3 because it does look really smooth in its fighting combat system, but I'm enjoying it now. I'm giving it more of an opportunity. I'm also on this RPG kick right now.
Yeah, I actually got back into RPGs. I whipped out my 3DS again because playing some Dragon Quest.
That is so weird. I found my 3DS the other day, so I started playing Pokemon Sun again. Nice.
Yeah, I'm just I've been into this RPG thing again. I made a Japanese PlayStation account just so I could get this free Dragon Quest theme for my PlayStation. Pretty sweet.
What I really like is if you download Final Fantasy VII for PS4, it gives you the wallpaper.
Oh yeah, you get
the theme.
Yeah,
and it plays music constantly on your home screen. I think it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just leave it on.
And it's not the 7 theme; it's the remake 7 theme.
Is it really?
Yeah, the theme you get.
I'm just messing with you.
You're a jerk. I hate you.
Why?
But yeah, other than that, what have you been up to besides Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy? How's 7 holding up? I think we talked about
7. Actually, I'm surprised it's holding up as well it is because that's an old RPG. But I think that's because 7 was ahead of its time. It just holds up really well.
I also feel like turn-based combat games kind of age better.
I agree.
Because you don't have to worry about, oh, you know what, the frame rate now is so much better in games and things like that.
Yeah, definitely understand. Plus, like, it's so funny when anybody asks me, like, says the word RPG or JRPG, what's the first thing that pops in their mind? And some people might think turn-based. Some people might think, like, big adventures. I always picture, like, Little Town, walking from person to person, just to get little dialogue. And a lot of people skip that in a game. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll go to each individual person I see on the screen just to get a tiny bit of dialogue.
Sometimes they even give you stuff, though.
They give you stuff. They give you expedition you might never get in the game. And I've always enjoyed that in RPGs. I always like having a full conversation and then making them start the conversation over again. They'll say 3 or 4 lines and then it's repeating it over. Can't wait to see the castle. Yeah, you're heading that way now? Our chicken got out later. Can't wait to see the castle. Like, yes. So, and that's what Final Fantasy VII is. It's that old, full RPG elements. And it was like, it's that nice balance of when I used to play RPGs on my Sega Nintendo, where I had to read everything and walk from town to town and make out, to that jump up to what RPGs eventually will become. It was that perfect in between. That's why I think I'm enjoying it as much as I am. The only thing that's really upsetting me right now is I know she's going to die. I'm not ruining Final Fantasy VII for anybody, but she's going to die.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready.
I stopped playing 7 on my PS4. I keep meaning to get back into it because what I was doing was 100% run. Like I was going to hit level 99 and just do everything in one playthrough. So it was taking a long time. I think I had 28 hours into the game and I wasn't even off disc 1 yet. Just farming levels and, getting stuff.
It is really neat. What I also like about it is now that I understand how games work, it's a little easier to play if it sounds crazy. Like, I know it works off a grid system now.
Yeah.
So the likelihood I'm going to run into a random occurrence battle and how to walk if I just want to avoid it. And it's like, just knowing that years later, I'm like, wow. I don't know. It just makes it a lot better for me. Like, I really wanted to level up in the beginning of the game. So
also, now that since you're older too, you probably have more strategy in your combat.
Yep.
Whereas before you'd be like, "That's a water guy. I'm gonna use water." Now it's kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna use haste to make all my guys attack faster, and then I'm also gonna use lightning.
So, and I found myself though, like back in the day when it came to RPGs, I just hit that attack button over and over. That's it. Now I always use magic more. Like, I realized Cloud, I've really used a lot of bolts more than anything in that game. My magic is G in that game already, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, come see me. I'll electrocute you.
Oh.
all up in your face.
I'm not liking the way you're talking to me right now.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
House is calling you.
That was my mom, yeah.
You have your mom in your phone's house.
Well, because it used to be the house and more people lived there.
Oh, that was sad. Enough about me. What about you?
Yeah, I just been playing, like I said, the 2 Final Fantasies. I pre-ordered Patapon because that was a PSP game that I really enjoyed, and it's getting remastered, and I saw it was up for only $12 for pre-order. Oh, I completely forgot. One of the best games that I've played in a long time, I'm actually playing right now, Pyre.
Bless you.
Thank you. It was made by the guys who made Bastion and Transistor, but man, this game is really good. The story's really good. So the way the story works is, I'll just give like the basics. I'm not very far into it, so I can't really give any spoilers anyway. But you are outcasted from the city. Basically, you're exiled, and your way to get back in is to win these matches with your team. And your objective is, there's a flaming ball in the center, and you have to get it to the opponent's flame, and they try to get into your flame. But it's really cool because like your team, while you win, they get levels, they get abilities, and then they get to a point where they're so loyal that that's how they can leave. So they get the option to just leave your team. So you might lose a star player, and you're like, oh crap, I really like him, but I want him to be free because I really like him. I don't want him to be in exile anymore. So it's pretty cool. It's really in depth. It's only $20, so if anyone like is interested,
Only 20?
yeah,
Oh.
I would say check it out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, $20 is nothing to laugh at. That's like,
I was gonna say, I
Some
looked
food.
at the Namco Museum yesterday on the Switch. I was like, $30? No way.
yeah, I wouldn't pay $30 for that either.
Although I wanted
20 would have been a sweet.
20 would have been a sweet, but even then, my old man would have came out. $20? I'd rather pay 15.
That's how it always works. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. So I guess we can get right into
The news.
Looks like Deathstroke is going to still be in Batman Solo movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what do you think about that, man?
I'm pretty excited because I did want to see Deathstroke live action other than what we've gotten in CW.
I do like the CW version. I feel like the actor they picked to play him, but you are correct. I want to see a different version of him. And I also feel like he's an amazing character that never gets his due.
I feel like the most people know him from Teen Titans.
Yeah.
From that Teen Titans animated series.
Where Ron Perlman did the voice of him. It was incredible, too.
When he was Slate.
Yeah. Creepy voice. It was fantastic.
He was really good.
But even that didn't do justice to his character, right? You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was Slade in that. He wasn't even Deathstroke because they couldn't use the word death. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where they're going with it. Plus, I feel like every Batman movie, besides, I'd say, Dark Knight Rises, where he fought Bane, Batman really hasn't had that, like, physical presence, somebody to go, toe-to-toe with him. So Deathstroke would be a neat thing to see. So I'm excited to see it, man.
Especially with how I think the combat has already been proven in the new series that's going on. Like, Ben Affleck's Batman moves around as if it's like Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
You know, he just flips, he's just punching people in the air.
Throwing people into the wall. It was that first time you really seen, you know, Batman on that element where he's like, that's why people fear him. He's throwing guys around like used tissues, no issues. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see somebody take it to him. And you know what I mean? It would be nice to see in the movie Batman say, you know, this guy might be my rival when it comes to combat. So.
Because I do think that a lot of people, the movies usually tend to get one aspect of Batman always wrong. Whether it's they always lack in the detective, which I think the Christopher Nolan series kind of lacked in that. He kind of had Lucius Fox do a lot of the detective work for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I think people forget that Batman is a detective first.
World's greatest detective.
Yeah, he is the world's greatest detective. Rivaled only maybe to Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
But, you know, so I think a lot of people forget that, and I think another thing they forget is that he knows so much martial arts. Like, and he can...
127 different styles, man.
Yeah, and in Batman Year One, I always remember this one scene where he kicks the tree down, and he still says, "I'm not ready." He breaks an entire tree.
That's not easy, man, with the roots.
No,
You
with
know,
his
Park.
foot.
It is true.
And then his comment isn't, "Wow, I'm amazing." It's, "I'm not ready."
So I feel like Batman's always like the hardest on himself, though. You know?
I agree. But that's because he doesn't have powers. I feel like he knows he has to be the best because of what he's up against and what else exists. But
He doesn't know how to turn off.
no.
But that's what I'm actually. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Deathstroke. I don't want him to be forced into the story. I still want to see a really rich love story, and I also, like I said, I really want to see this movie low key. Do something special like Wonder Woman, where it just didn't touch into any other heroes, and that's what made it great.
Yeah.
So I really want to see something like that.
The only thing I'd be okay with when it comes to tying in other things after credits scene.
yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't really want.
Well, I'm kind of glad that DC didn't do after credit scenes.
For Wonder Woman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that's kind of... They realize that's Marvel's thing, and they're like, you know what? We'll tell you the story we need to, when we need to. And to be honest, I remember I got into an argument with somebody once, and I said, well, at least DC doesn't have to do after credit scenes. And he was like, yeah, Batman Begins, the whole part with the Joker card, that could have been an after credit scene. Let's be honest, they just put it before the credits. So, stick with that. Stick with stuff before credits.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I miss being able to just leave my movies when the credits started.
So, especially when it's like, that's what Marvel's known for now, you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
almost like, what's so hilarious is like the movie will come out, reviews, and then immediately, boy, let's talk about the after credit scene. It's like,
And they're getting a little ridiculous too. I think now they have like 3. I think one movie is having. Oh, Thor Ragnarok. I heard is going to have 5 after credit scenes.
yeah, that's what they're into, man. That's what they're into.
It's like a whole nother movie.
Yeah. So, talking about news, I just had to say this just because this is just shocking to me. Trailers dropped for the same time, Thor Ragnarok, and then one dropped for Justice League. And Justice League was like number 2 to number 3 trending. Thor Ragnarok was like number 1 trending. Are more people talking about that Thor Ragnarok trailer?
Because it's Marvel.
But I'm sorry, even if I wasn't a diehard DC fan like I am, you gotta admit, when it came to trailer versus trailer, the Justice League was just cut better. It was an overall better trailer.
While I agree with that, there are people that aren't like us. Like you and me, while we do love DC more, we do enjoy Marvel. We still see the Marvel films. We can recognize what Marvel does right. You know what I mean? There are people out there, though, that they don't care. You know what I mean? They will not admit that DC is doing anything right. They'll be like, oh, that still looks dumb.
I'm going to be honest. So you put a man in tights and call him a superhero, I'll probably see it, more likely. Like I said, it really, and I will admit, sometimes DC has made it crap. Like, first Thor trailer was amazing. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Just like the Doomsday Batman v Superman trailer was horrendous. It was an awful trailer. But to compare those trailers, I even watched it after seeing that news again. I was like, no, that Justice League trailer was just cut better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you took all the characters out of each and just had, you know what I mean, or switched them, it was a better cut trailer. That's the way it was.
And then, personally, and I know I've said this on the show before, Justice League to me just looks like a movie that's going to have multiple tones. Like, it does have its funny moments, but the funny moments seem to mostly be because of Flash, and Aquaman's going to have his few moments. Whereas Marvel, I just feel like they're still on this, oh, we need to be funny kick. And
You're funny.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Talking about trailers. See the new It trailer?
I did.
What you think?
I actually am more interested personally than I was off the first trailer.
I can agree. The only issue I'm having with this movie, and maybe it's me nitpicking, was in the book, in the original movie, it talked about he took the form of the clown to get kids' guards down, put them, bring them in, whatever like that. The clown in the trailer now is terrifying.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that would get my guard down at all. Like, he's just a scary looking clown. So, obviously in this trailer, I'm going to discuss it. Obviously, they're going to be kids the entire time. It looks like it. What do you think so far? You think this is? You think it's too far away from the original source material of the book, or do you think it's?
I think it's. Obviously, we've only seen trailers, and trailers are going to want to show the scary things so that people will go see it. My concern is that they're just going to keep this clown in the sewers and all, because you know, I remember in the original film he was out in the streets, he was, you know, bullying kids.
He showed up in the house with the mummy in the basement, the werewolf and everything. That's what I want to see in the trailer, to be honest, is he came in different forms.
Yeah.
In the original movie and in the book. I want to see that in this and make sure they...
I think the form that just stuck the most though to people was the clown, so maybe that's what they're...
Yeah, and I really understand that, because even in the original movie, Tim Curry was the clown the most, but like I said, he did pop up a different few times. I do like the part in the trailer where it's like the kid, one kid says it's a clown and everything like that, and it kind of gives that eerie feeling. Also feel like the music in the trailer is just really cool about that.
Yeah.
Eerie thing, there's something about that makes you feel really
Gives you
uneasy.
goosebumps.
Yeah, so once again, another really good cut trailer.
I agree.
Are you just gonna pretend it's happening like everyone
sorry,
else
go
in this
ahead.
town?
I was gonna say, I probably will. This might be. I don't usually see horror movies in theaters. I might actually see this one.
Well, I mean, technically, like a lot of people are saying this is a remake. Like technically, the original It wasn't a movie; it was a TV, two-part film. I feel like this is still the first representatives of a feature film with it in it, so I'm actually kind of excited for it. Number two, it's like, and I think I've discussed this before on this podcast. I hate patents because I feel like I want to see people with different ideas doing the same thing sometimes. You know what I mean? It's interesting, so I'm actually really excited to see what this director's going with towards it. After Stranger Things doing so well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be exciting to see a kid's story like that and everything like that that involves a monster. And maybe it's going to be like Stranger Things, or maybe it's going to be its own thing.
Hopefully, we'll see.
You see the trailer for Stranger Things again? Second one?
No, I didn't watch it again.
The second trailer?
Oh, I didn't see the second trailer actually.
You didn't see it?
No, I only saw
Oh,
the
it's
first trailer.
amazing. You got to watch it,
Is
man.
it really? I'm surprised I missed that.
I'm really excited for this season. I really, really like Stranger Things. It's probably what's getting me so hyped for it. Like, it's just really good.
The kid is in it.
It is in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Stranger Things takes you back to a happier time in your life, you know what I
With
mean?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons and
Atari.
great times, 2014.
No, Stranger Things didn't come out in 2014, did it?
No, but The Sims did.
Oh, yes, it did. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Sims. So Sims 4 is actually coming out on the PS4 and Xbox One 3 years later than when it was.
It is really weird. But Sims 4 didn't have a lot of problems when it came out. I don't remember it being the smoothest release.
A lot of people complained that there wasn't as much for your houses to build as previous Sims games. Like it kind of felt like they took stuff out to charge you for it later. Like you couldn't put swimming pools. That was a DLC pack.
Wow, because I know the only thing I did do with Sims was make a pool, leap a ladder, and watch them pin. That's like slowly drown. That's what I did.
I used to like to make houses and take away the doors and build it up.
You know, it's okay to admit these things. We've all done it. We say these things that certain people may judge them.
Oh, I'm
You
sure
ever
after this podcast, someone's going to say you guys suck.
You ever do the door trick, but instead fill the house up with cat litter or the kid litter boxes and watch them die by poisoning? Oh, that's great. Oh,
That's
man.
funny.
I'm actually not excited at all.
Yeah, I have Sims 4 actually for the PC. But the thing I always enjoyed in The Sims was actually more construction than I did actually playing the people's lives. Like, I loved building houses, but I always hated it because I could never afford to move someone in unless I used cheat codes, because my houses would just be so expensive afterwards. But I really... That was always my favorite thing about the game, was just, like, making, like, these really nice, elaborate, houses.
That we'll never be able to live in.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really know if I'm excited for this. I asked my girlfriend.
It's just really weird. 3 years later, like...
Yeah, and I kind of feel like a part of me is like, this is going to come out, and then maybe next year Sims 5 is going to come out on PC, and it's just going to be a repeating cycle where consoles are probably going to be behind when it comes to the Sims titles.
I don't know. I've never really been into The Sims. Like I said, I
Yeah.
played it a few times. I think, like, I forgot what Sims came free with a certain computer.
Oh.
I think I played that one, and that was it. But I've never paid money. But I've never been into, like, any of those games where you had to make houses or anything, except for Animal Crossing. That game rocked! But Sims, I don't know. And like I said, and I've never been a PC gamer, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I had a PC in my room growing up, and I probably had like 4 games on it, which I barely played.
Oh wow. Yeah, I really enjoy playing games on PC, but
And most of them are like Sonic games. The Hedgehog.
okay, we get it. You like Sonic a
I
lot.
do like Sonic. It's really cool.
I asked my girlfriend though if this was something she'd be interested in because I kind of tried to get her to play more games,
Mm-hmm.
but she still only plays Dragon games, so it's like
We should get her to play Dragon Age.
that's true. Oh, excuse me.
Tired?
Yeah,
All I can get my wife to do is play Lego Harry Potter. And then stream it constantly. You know what I'm saying? Keep getting alerts at work. More Lego Harry Potter. Alright. Sorry to our viewers or listeners.
well, she really wants.
Unless you really like Lego Harry Potter, but my wife killed it. She finished that game on the podcast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so in case anybody was stuck, you just go back to our videos and now you got everything in there.
Except she also wants to play MLB The Show.
Yeah, but like 2015, she's like 2 years behind still. I offered to get her the new games. Like, I'm not done with 2015. Like,
And then I gotta get 16. Can't just jump ahead.
I guess so.
Oh man.
Either way, though, so Sims not interested at all.
No, I don't think it's really moving the needle for me.
I feel like these PC games that take forever to come out are very hit or miss, and then when they do finally come out, it's like sometimes games that like this are meant to be played on PC. They
Yeah.
lose their magic on consoles. You know what I mean? I remember The Sims 2 on PlayStation versus the PC version was garbage.
Yeah.
Not even any point in playing it. Though it was pretty good though when they transferred the Conscience. Crisis. It's a cool game.
I actually, yeah, Crisis was good. I enjoyed Crisis. I
So-
never beat Part 3 though.
Really?
Yeah, so, you know, you got to fight big monsters, so stuff like that.
Big monsters. While we're on the point of forgotten things, before we get into any other stuff, is the Vita have a comeback coming all of a sudden?
I don't know. Why would you?
A couple games got announced for the Vita,
Okay.
which is really weird because it's like a dead system. And I've been everywhere, you know what I mean? I don't know if you know this, I'm obsessed with YouTube. I love it.
Me too.
Okay. Hopefully my boss doesn't listen to this because out of probably my 8 hours of work, I spend about 4 or 5 on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? No, but in all seriousness, like, there's been a bunch of videos popping up, and the Vita's really starting to get some traction online. Like, why the Vita's worth owning, why it's important to get the Vita in 2017, like all these articles. So I was just curious, and like I said, they did a couple updates for it recently. I turned my Vita on, and they did 3 updates. They added a bunch more games for PS4 sharing on it, which really shocked me. And then, like I said, they did a few updates, and they did an update for World of Final Fantasy on it, which I know Square Enix is, you know,
Yeah.
still supporting love to the Vita, but it was just for a dead, forgotten system to do an update on a game that came out last year was very odd to me.
I can agree with that.
So I'm wondering if the Vita's, maybe PlayStation isn't done with it.
I hope not.
You know
I
what
hope
I mean?
maybe
Oh,
Sony.
and the prices went back up for it.
Ouch.
Yes, so that's why I was curious. What did I buy mine for? Like $70?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $200 again on Amazon
Woo.
and stuff. So I'm wondering, maybe it isn't dead. Maybe we'll get some more games on it. I mean, you're still playing your Vita, right?
I haven't. I haven't been playing my Vita. But that's because personally, all the games on my Vita, I kind of just beaten. The only thing I got on it that I didn't beat, that I was playing, was
Jack and Dexter.
Jak and Daxter. But then I heard that they're coming out with them on the PS4, so I was kind of like, you know what? I don't want to play through them now, and then when they come to the PS4, play through them again. So I just kind of put it aside. I will say that I love my Vita for games like some RPGs are really great for it. Like I played Final Fantasy 9 on it. That's where I beat 9. I was thinking about replaying 8, and I thought, like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll play this on the Vita.
Or, not playing it at all.
Yeah, not play it at all. I mean, it is pretty bad.
Some of the exclusives for the Vita were great. Currently, I'm playing Resistance on it,
I saw you were playing Resistance.
and it's actually really good.
Really?
The reviews were kind of hit on it. They were really hard on it, but I feel like the review said it was a difficult game, and the issue of it being a difficult game was the checkpoints are so far, from it. So it does get annoying. You get killed, they take you all the way back to like the beginning of the level. You have to wait your way. That is frustrating, but it's not enough to where it makes you stop playing the game. Because it's actually a solid first person. You know what I mean? I do like the Resistance story. I thought it was really neat.
I love the Resistance story, and I'm really upset that like it's just kind of stopped because we still don't know what a real Chimera looks like.
The issue is it came out during Halo, and everybody, anytime you said we're going to be the Halo killer, you killed yourself. That's your issue. You know what I mean? Because even Killzone, to me, which is a solid franchise, really good, never got the traction it should, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why Guerrilla Games kind of moved away from it. Came out with Horizon, which was blew up. But I agree. Killzone never got the attention that I think it also deserved.
But yeah, to me, the Vita, some of the exclusive games on the Vita, and even some of the ports, I got Mortal Kombat 9 on it. It plays beautifully. It looks amazing on it. Metal Gear Collection is amazing on it. But Resistance I'm playing right now, and then I got World of Final Fantasy, and I took my time and looked at, should I get it for PlayStation 4? Should I get it for the Vita? And the graphics, a slight difference. You know what I mean? So I ended up wanting to make it portable, so I got it for the Vita. So I'm either way, I'm gonna do some more research and keep you updated. See if the Vita's coming back.
I definitely think the Vita is a system that everyone should have gotten, but not a lot of people did. And I do know that the Vita has a huge attach rate. People that have a Vita have a lot of games for their Vita. And that's one of the reasons I think, companies and Sony still do want to support it, but it just didn't get the traction in sales. Now, do you think Sony, because of the Switch, is going to come out with another portable? Because I don't think they're going to do a hybrid console like Nintendo did. I think what they're going to do is bank on this streaming thing that they've been doing with the Vita and the PS4. Maybe just a higher quality.
I'll be honest, maybe they'll put out another portable. I hope they don't, not because I don't want another portable, just because I want them to support the Vita again. So, you know what I mean? Maybe do some updates, or maybe release a new version of the Vita. You know what I mean? That will play the old Vita games still on it, but newer games too. So
with better graphics. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Because the Vita ran at like a PlayStation 3 quality, and its games a little less, I'd say. You know what I mean? Which is still really good for a portable system.
Yeah.
This is a really fun system, and it feels good in the hand. I'm going to say this. It's going to sound crazy coming from me. If I had to hold that or a Switch all day, I'm going with a Vita.
Yeah, I do like that. The thicker... I don't have a Slim. You don't have a Slim. So we had the original little thick Vita. I actually enjoy that one a lot more than my Switch as well. I think the Switch is just a little too thin for me sometimes.
Too thin and then too wide.
Yeah.
That's a big issue with it. Same with my DS. As much as I love my DS, it's too complex for me to play, and I think it's my big hands. But the Vita is the only handheld where I feel comfortable playing it.
Yeah, it's like that perfect medium.
And definitely, if you don't have one, you're looking to get one, please get that Slim model. You lose quality in your screen, and you know what I mean? It's too thin. It feels weird.
Yeah, I agree. If you're going to get one, it might be a little harder to find, but I bet you they're even going to be cheaper. Get the thick one.
Throw it at each other.
Yeah.
Throw it at, you know what I mean? But you might have to go everywhere in this world. Hunting in this world for one. You know what I mean? Hunting for a monster in this world.
Monster Hunter World. Yeah, we got quite a bit of news for that. Actually.
How excited are you for this game?
I'm super excited.
I am too.
You know what's funny though? They keep showing the same level, and my level of hype just still keeps going up.
Do you know what it is though? It's like even the disappointing Monster Hunter games, because to be honest, the game out for the Switch for a while, they're still really well done games. Yeah. I've never met a lazy Monster Hunter game.
I agree with that.
It was just like half-ass. I've seen half-ass every other game, but Monster Hunter is like, no, we're going to give our full attention to this. So now that they're going multi-console again, they're going HD, their big next-gen release, there's nothing but to do but be excited for this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the few monsters we've seen in them look incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. The game looks beautiful. The environment, everything.
And one of the things that Monster Hunter's always been known for, and what I loved about it, is I always like the way the monsters interact. You know what I mean? You really do feel like you're hunting. You know what I mean? They react to your weapons, the way you're moving, everything like that. They might run. They might attack you. You know what I mean? And it's something really exciting.
And I like that now there isn't that loading barrier, so that if a monster's chasing you, he's going to keep chasing you. It's not ending. You can run as far as you want, but...
You gotta be a man and face him.
Someday I will beat you.
What was that?
So, but what they showed in the latest trailer was the new weapons. They showed all the weapons that you can get in Monster Hunter World. There's going to be 14, and they showed some gameplay for each one. I thought we could go down the list and then maybe just say, which ones we really kind of gravitate towards. So they had Bow, they had the Charge Blade, Dual Blades, yeah, I know, Great Sword, Gun Lance, Hammer, the Heavy Bowgun, the Hunting Horn, which that one actually made me laugh when I saw that in the trailer, the Insect Javelin, Lance, the Light Bowgun, Long Sword, and Switch Axe, Sword and Shield, and that's it. Now, did you watch the trailer? Because it also showed armor sets.
What, for the weapons?
So for each weapon, it kind of showed
the only one I seen was the dual sword, and that was it. Just because that was the only one I was interested in.
Really?
I like dual swords, man.
The dual swords really did look really cool. I think I'm leaning more so far towards the great sword. I always like two-hander big weapons. I have a friend who posted as soon as this thing came out, he was like, I started off with the long sword and I'm sticking with the long sword. And I was like, oh, well, hey man, good for you. You know what you like, sticking with it. But the great sword so far seems to be what I'm leaning towards. But that insect javelin really,
does it for you?
It was getting me going, man. Because he was doing all these flips in the air. It really looks like the insect javelin is going to be more about staying in the air combat.
Right.
And I think that's just going to be so cool to see in like HD
and
such a beautiful
amazing
environment.
Frame rate. I mean, the game itself looks gorgeous. Everything I've seen on it, just a beautiful looking game. You know what I mean? Like, I said it before. They're not lazy games. They're fun. You know what I mean? Games. I'm just really excited to see this, and I'm really excited for people that haven't never got an opportunity to play Monster Hunter to get to try it out.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good entry too, and I think they were smart to not put a number behind it because they did say that this is a core Monster Hunter game. It technically is Monster Hunter 5, but they didn't want. They decided to just go with Monster Hunter World for the title, and I think that's smart because sometimes when people see a number, they're a little bit intimidated. Like, they think that they have to go back and play the other ones. And I get that all the time. Like, when Final Fantasy 15 was coming out, I had friends that were interested in Final Fantasy 15, but they've never played a Final Fantasy before. And they were like, do I have to really go and play 14 other games? I was like, no, each one is its own thing. And
not connected at all.
No. Connected in name only.
And Chocobos.
Chocobos, yeah.
Chocobos,
maybe some Moogles.
Yeah. With that being said, do you think this will sell well? Granted, to people, this is going to be a new IEP to a lot of people. I know it's not a new one.
Yeah.
To a lot of people, it's going to be, and we've seen Horizon Zero Dawn did well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, do you think this has a chance coming out with a slew of other games?
Here's what I'll say right off the bat. I definitely think no matter what, it's going to sell really well. And here's why. It's always done well on the 3DS. The 3DS install base is not as big as the PS4's install base. So just numbers-wise alone, I think it has the chance to do better than what it's already been doing. And it's going to be on the Xbox One as well, which has 30 million units out there. So between the two consoles alone, that's 90 million for sales. A chance for sales, obviously. If they got 100% sellout for each console, that'd be amazing. But I don't see that happening.
Right.
Not including PC, which... I'm sure a lot of people are going to get it on PC as well. I do think that it's a smart move for them to bring it back to console, make it multi-platform, because I've always enjoyed Monster Hunter, and I would always love to see that series take the next step. While they've always innovated on the game, I feel like they never really took big risks with it because of the hardware it was on. They just couldn't.
They had your limitations. I agree. And this looks like, and I also feel like they're giving us so much. You know what I mean? There's still more to be said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we're still going to get a couple bombshells before the release anyway.
Yeah. We haven't even... they did...
Just the voice acting was a shock to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I saw that... we saw that trailer before with the English voice acting, I literally didn't even think they were talking at first. I thought it was someone commentating.
You're right.
And then I was like, oh man, no, this is voice acting. That's awesome. So that's really cool as well. I'm happy that they're taking the extra mile to add some voices and really get the game polished. They did say, though, that it will be out before March. Regardless of when it comes out, I'm just hoping that I can have the time to put into it that I really want to put into
Yeah, I agree with you. There's literally 3 games coming out this month that I'm going to get and I really want to get like day one.
Yeah.
What's the money for that?
It's starting to get hard because I have to start like picking and choosing. I got a lot of PlayStation money for my birthday. You were one of the people who gave me that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Pre-ordered God of War with your money.
That's
But
what
the XCOM DLC went up for pre-order as well, and I was like, I didn't know if I wanted that or, if I really wanted to maybe give the Mario Rabbids a try.
Oh, I just paid that off.
But I decided to go with the XCOM DLC because I know I love XCOM.
Good, we can discuss it now.
Yeah, we can maybe do not a comparison because I won't probably play the Rabbids game.
Do
But
a comparison.
okay.
I won't even play XCOM and I'll say Raptors better. Nintendo fanboy for life.
Maybe we both can stream the game. Oh wait.
I see what you did there. So who makes Monster Hunter?
Capcom.
Really?
Yes.
Any news coming from Capcom?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, where did they get their name?
I don't know. What?
That's not the news? Okay,
That's
good.
not the news.
When do they pay me my money back for 2, and I count them, 2 shitty Street Fighter movies?
They paid you back with Resident Evil 7.
Okay, you're right.
That you
You're right
love.
about that. Not to mention...
You had to pay for it still. But
Yeah, not to mention, I go back and watch Street Fighter 1 originally with Jean-Claude every once in a while. I actually do kind of like it now. Not because it's good, just because it's so bad.
It's
Yeah,
one of
I
those
mean-
so bad it's good movies.
Yeah, it is. Going to kick him by some so hard. You know what I mean? It's a great movie.
Oh, I know.
You remember Blanca in that? It was terrible. They made Charlie
He
and
was-
Blanca
yeah,
the same character.
He was horrible.
Oh, Kyle, Frank. Oh, gosh. No one was good about that, though.
Huh?
Chun-Li.
I don't even remember who was Chun-Li.
That's just a pretty girl.
Oh, okay.
I think the only recognizable actors in that was probably Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile, and then what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. God rest his soul. Gene Wu, whatever, as M. Bison. The only 2 recognizable actors. Everybody else was like,
I knew Ryu and Ken. Personally.
you knew this person? They've never done another movie.
They were so low-key. Came right out of Jersey.
I've never seen them before, ever in my life.
No, I agree.
And then Ken was terrible. Then didn't even have long hair. Or wasn't even in shape. Some chubby middle-aged white man. That's Ken. That's it. It's over.
But the news you're talking about is Nintendo. Jesus. Capcom is going to focus. They're going to release more titles for the Switch. They're preparing more titles to go to Switch.
Resident Evil 7? Woo! End of conversation, right?
No, actually,
Uh,
that's part of the problem that I think a lot of people are having right now. And
people
that's-
got hyped.
A
And they
lot
get
of
too overly hyped.
A lot of people did get really hyped, and I think now people are setting their expectations way higher than what Capcom probably will be giving. So what I wanted to do was maybe we can go down a couple of games that we do think are going to go and what we think aren't going to go.
All right, see, I'm going to, first, before we even take it to these games things, I'm going to tell you what I exactly think this is. I think it's the same thing they did for the Wii and the same thing they did for the Wii U. We don't get main titles, we get side titles.
Yes.
When Resident Evil 6 was coming out on 360 and PS3, and they knew the Wii U wouldn't be able to run it, we got Revelations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's exactly what they're going to do again.
I agree. I do think we're going to the Switch is going to get a lot of ports. I think you're going to get your Resident Evil 4 because
Okay, I agree.
Resident Evil 4 sells so much that I don't think they want that on every console. Let's be honest. Ever since that game has come out, it has been on everything.
It is true. Let's say start off as a GameCube exclusive, and then it ported over to
PS2,
PlayStation 2,
Wii,
Wii,
PS3,
PlayStation 3,
Xbox 360.
360, PlayStation 4, now on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That has come out and everything. Surprised they can go backwards, start putting it on the N64. You find out it's the additional game.
That's going to be on the N64 Classic.
Yeah, that's
when
what
Nintendo makes it. I don't remember this being out there. But
Alright, so what games do I think would be easily ported over here? Well, let's talk about a game that I know definitely won't, that I've seen online. A few people threw out Resident Evil 7.
yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that too.
And I'm not even going to say it's the look of the game that's not going to be why it can't be ported over, because whatever, you can always downplay graphics. I'm not going to say it's the size of the game. I'm going to say it's simply because of the AI in that game. There's no
The
track.
AI is really smart.
You know what I mean? Like I can't see that running on the Switch at all. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think that Capcom also focused so much on the visuals of that game. I know you're saying, like, you know, you're not going to use visuals as a thing, and yes, they can downplay the visuals. I don't think Capcom would want to, because that game is beautiful.
Besides it being beautiful, the fact it looks so great, they use that to its advantage.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons it was so scary.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's, if you get rid of the visuals, you're going to lose a lot of the game. You know what I mean? You might not realize what's going on. Like, the whole scene, imagine the scene if the game didn't look good, where you had to stick, spoiler warning for the next 5 seconds, where you had to stick your hand down the cop's gone head and
Yeah.
go, it wouldn't look the same.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Oh, it was so creepy.
And a lot of people keep... another one that I see a lot of people talking about is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That one is one I can kind of see more likely, but the only reason why I don't think it will happen is because I don't know if the Switch could run that game at 60 frames a second. And I think when it comes to fighting games and shooters, the frame rate matters more than the visuals.
Well, what was the fighting game that Capcom gave the Wii when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out? It was Capcom versus...
Tense and something.
Yeah, that's another possibility I see happening again.
Like maybe like another crossover type
Yeah,
thing, but
that's just
exclusive for the Switch.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely see the Mega Man Legacy collections going.
Absolutely. For the 50th time, that got released.
Yeah.
It got released on the DS, for goodness sakes. Plus, they already announced Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 for the Switch.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes.
So that perfect.
Now, do we know what's on the Legacy Collection 2 yet?
Legacy Collection 2 is all the games from 6 to X, the first X.
Okay.
Because the first Legacy Collection went 1 through 6. This is going to be 7 through X, and then I think may even go a little bit beyond that now that I think about it, because I don't know why you would pay for 7, 8, 9, just for 4 games when you got 6 previously. But I think this one's actually cheaper, because I don't even think it counts as a separate thing. I think it's an add-on to the first Legacy Collection.
I feel like they should just stop this and just give me Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 in a collection.
Ooh,
Oh, that'd be
completely
amazing.
remastered.
That would be amazing. I had that on my Vita.
Yeah, I do want to go back and replay Legends. I don't see Monster Hunter Worlds going to the Switch.
Yeah. I do see a Monster Hunter. going to
Yes, 100%.
Not Worlds,
I do, and that's the thing. I do think that they're going to start focusing on, like we've already said, side games. You're going to probably get a Resident Evil. Will it be the 8 when 8 ever comes out? No. You're probably going to get a side story, something more
Another
like...
Revelations would be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they port Revelations 2 over to the Switch.
I could see that as well.
Since the Wii U didn't get it.
Revelations 1 and 2, maybe, as like
In
a combo.
collection,
Yeah,
that would be cool.
a collection pack.
And they were solid games, so if anybody that had that only went with a Wii U, never got to play Revelations 2, that would be a nice though to go over the Switch.
I agree. Something that I kind of hope Capcom does that would be really nice is maybe bring back Beautiful Joe exclusively on the Switch.
That's a great game.
Yeah, because when Beautiful Joe, if I remember correctly, it was exclusive to the GameCube at first for a little while. Then it came to the PS2.
Did the first one even go to PS2? I know
The first one did, because the first one came to the PS2 at a little bit before 2 did, and it included Dante.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Because I remember I bought it for the PS2 because I was so into Devil May Cry. I was like, anything that had Dante in it, I was like, oh, I'm getting it.
Maybe we'll get a Devil May Cry for the Switch.
I wouldn't mind that. Maybe 4 will get re-released again. Because, there's been talks that since DMC didn't do well, they're going to just continue off of 4 and do Resident Evil 5.
Devil May Cry 5.
However, I don't see Devil May Cry 5 going to the Switch if they do that.
No.
Only because I feel like they're going to want to focus. I feel like Capcom wants to focus their really big titles for the PS4 and Xbox One and PC. And I don't think they're going to want to have to worry about development time for making sure it can run on a weaker console. Either way, though, this is still good news for the Switch. I know a lot of people are probably going to hear us and what we're saying and be like, why you guys always got to down talk it? It's like I'm not down. I'd much rather keep my expectations in check than think all these great games are going to come, these huge
To
games.
be honest, I'd rather that, to be honest, to get side stories on the Switch. That's one of my favorite things about having a Wii U or the Wii. We're getting games that you couldn't play on any other system that you could be like, hey, this was
In the
mine.
same
You know
world.
what I mean?
Yeah.
This is great. No, this isn't Capcom, but Bayonetta 2. It was nice to be able to be like, hey, we got Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Capcom did also say that they are going to start focusing more on console release games, with the focus strictly really on PlayStation and the Switch. Woo! Xbox fans. That kind of hurts.
Hey, bro. That's what happens. Get against the bro system. Broski.
I do think it sucks that, for people who got an Xbox, I don't know if this means that games will know, like Capcom games aren't going to go to the Xbox One, but I do think this means that Capcom is going to start making console exclusives for the PS4
The way
and the Switch.
the way I seen it, the way I always picture it, and this does make a difference, is if a lot of times developers will be like, we'll focus on these two systems. That just might mean they're developing for PlayStation and Switch and porting everything over to the Xbox One. And at the end of the day, yeah, when you port over, you're still getting the same game, but you're definitely losing quality.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 4, I'm just using that as an example because it's sitting in front of us, was developed for the 360, ported over to the PS3. Even though the PS3 was a better quality system, looked better on the 360, ran better on the 360.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I honestly, that's what I took out of it with Capcom saying that. What do you always picture Capcom looking like? Just picture two brothers, really nice guys. You know what I
I
mean?
picture Capcom being good cop, bad cop, because sometimes they make horrible decisions, like Resident Evil 6, that I do not forgive them for. So I feel like sometimes, bad cop overthrows good cop, but good cop, and then they have that
Like
nice...
the Lego movie Bad Cop, Good Cop, where his head
Yeah,
spins.
yeah. But then they have that nice balance sometimes. That's when you get things like Resident Evil 7.
Like somebody was in the big board meeting, they just rose their hand, they're like, can we just start scaring people again? And somebody with like the scar was like, that sounds amazing!
One guy in the corner is like, this is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing Call of Duty, not
Listen.
horror games.
Speaking of action, everybody likes action. The only idea he had was that.
I like RPGs.
Fair enough.
Speaking of RPGs, Dragon Quest XI is out in Japan. People have lined up for this game. Like usual, Dragon Quest in Japan is probably the biggest game in Japan, honestly. So,
Everybody likes the Dragon Quest, man. You're really fond of Dragon Quest, huh?
yeah, I do love Dragon. I really enjoy Dragon
Is
Quest.
there dragons in it?
There are dragons.
Are there quests?
There are quests.
Is it like Blue Dragon? Because I love that game.
Art style wise, it is, and combat wise, I would say so.
RPG?
It is an RPG.
Turn-based?
It is turn-based.
There's one coming to the Switch, isn't there?
2 are going to the Switch, but only 1 is confirmed to go to the... So, okay. Let me just say this first. We got
You gotta see how frustrated he just got. Well, here it comes, man. This is what you wanted.
We just got confirmation that Dragon Quest XI is going to come to the US
Okay.
in 2018.
There's
Super...
11 games.
Yes.
All the same story.
No. It's much like Final Fantasy. You don't have to play and...
Different characters.
Yep. I'm super excited because I love the Dragon Quest series. The games are so good. And they're really like Japanese, they're really classic RPGs. Like if you really like it, if you really like that kind of style, I think you're really going to enjoy Dragon Quest. They never really picked up traction in the West for some odd reason. Final Fantasy has always done better here. And Dragon Quest has always done way better in Japan. Maybe, but I've always loved both. I'm super excited that's coming to the West. However, there is no official date for the Switch version yet, even in Japan. So, and Japan is getting Dragon Quest X, which is an MMO, and Dragon Quest XI, which is just a single player, go through the story. Now, Dragon Quest XI just came out in Japan for the 3DS, and the PS4. And you can buy a bundle pack that will come with both, which is really weird that Nintendo and Sony agreed to release it,
Very odd.
They are apparently bringing it to the Switch with no date. They haven't even really talked about it. I don't know if they're running into issues because the PS4 version looks beautiful. The 3DS version honestly doesn't even look like the same because it's only they look like they're kind of completely different. Like you could probably play both separately and you'll still enjoy both. Whereas the Switch version, I think, is supposed to be the same one as the PS4. I think they're kind of running into some problems with visuals and maybe getting it to run as well. I don't know if that's the case. They haven't come out and said anything that reflects that. So, my theory is that if it does go to the Switch before it comes to the West, it will come out in the West for both the Switch, PS4, and 3DS on the same day. If it doesn't come out on the Switch by the time it's ready to come out in America, it looks like Switch players are going to have to wait again. And Dragon Quest X so far does not have a release date for the US. I think.
Well, it is an MMO.
Yeah, but
And if it doesn't do well over here,
I get it. Yeah,
MMOs are winners. Look how fast Matrix Online crashed.
yeah.
My favorite game, City of Heroes. I still love it.
Or City of Villains.
I never played City of Villains, but City of Heroes, oh, my character had El Diablo. It
Oh,
was like Zorro, but he was all red. He was great, man. Had this like dirty mustache on him too, dirty Sanchez. It was fantastic. I'm sorry.
so
Taking it away, man. Taking it away.
I really wanted the Dragon Quest X to come over because I wanted to play an MMO recently, and I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to hold off for this one, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Well, it's something that I'm interested in. Usually, when you do pitch me a game, you get super excited about it. And I do try it out. I always end up liking it.
Yeah.
So it is something I'm interested in, and I hope any listeners to this podcast can become interested as well.
Yeah. Dragon Quest is something that I would like to get more traction for it, because I do want more of these titles to come here. We got Dragon Quest Builders, which was really fun. Like, if you really like Minecraft...
That came out for the Vita, too.
It did. And it's a really fun, like, Minecraft-like game, but the thing I liked about it so much more than Minecraft was I had an objective. There are quests. There are literally people that give you quests to do. They're like, hey, I need a house. You build them a house. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I need you to go out and get these materials for me. You go out and get the materials. It's not like Minecraft where
I need you to kill a horse. It's never happened, probably. But yeah, I get you.
Whereas in Minecraft, I kind of found myself just getting bored of...
Yeah, I don't know why I spent $40 on that thing.
Yeah.
I've never done anything in it.
So, when do we think Dragon Quest XI is going to come to the U.S.? Because we know it's going to come in 2018. When would you want it to come? When is your perfect time, would you say?
That's hard, man. I wouldn't want it holiday.
No.
Personally, for me, I wouldn't want it anytime in the beginning of 2018, because for you, it's a different. For me, I'd want it during one of them dry months in the summer, like a July. You know what I mean?
I think that's one of the reasons Final Fantasy 12 did really well. Final Fantasy 12 topped charts for 2 weeks in a row in Japan, topped the charts for Europe 2 weeks in a row. They haven't said anything about the U.S. I'm assuming it...
It probably did okay.
Yeah.
You know, after we talked about the podcast, probably shut up in sales, because we do that. Yeah, the summer months I think were the best. Not late summer, because lately August has been like filled with games.
I do think late June to mid-early July
would be really good. And to me, that's also... I don't know, I just feel like it'd be a good time. A lot of people are taking vacations then. Time like that, it'd be real easy to pick up a game and get lost. Especially if you're saying this as rich RPG as it is. I think it'd be a perfect time.
It looks like it's going to be huge, so expect to put a lot of hours into it if it's something you really want to get into.
Yeah. You know, these games confuse me. They're like, hey man, we're so big, we want you to play, have fun with it, pay $60. I'm like, okay, so I got to go to work to get the $60 to play. But then I got to continue to go to work, you know what I mean, to keep the electric on so I can continue to play. And it's like, man, when am I going to have time to play this game? It's like, you know what I mean? So you always think in your head, well, eventually I'll have time to play. Then eventually you just got to go back to work. You know what I mean?
Those snakes.
I honestly wish America was like other countries where we have less work days and more vacation days.
Oh, yeah.
So I could just play games, man.
I know in Italy...
I mean, my family's nice. But,
I know, like, in Europe and stuff like that, they literally have all businesses shut down at a certain time of the day for I think it's like, it's considered like a nap time. Like, everyone can just go home, relax. You don't literally have to take a nap, but, like, you know, just relax at home and not have to worry about work for a little while.
Well, a lot of countries have a 4-day work week and 3 days off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's they're paid well, you know what I mean? And, like, so much vacation time. Like in other countries, like the lowest level job, you work at McDonald's there, you get like 3 weeks of vacation from the door. Like,
Well, I think I saw something that like in Europe, someone that works at McDonald's starts at like $18 an hour. I was like, what?
that's a delicious Big Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're putting quality in that for 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean too. Like, obviously, if you pay more, you're gonna get people to really care and try to make your food right. And
Either way, though, I wish we had more time off. Play games. You know what I mean? 'Cause sometimes I feel myself taking forever to get through a game. Like Metal Gear Solid 5. That took forever to get through that game.
I still haven't gotten through it.
Because I just didn't have time. And that's one of my favorite franchises. And I mean, I'm just glad they're not doing any updates or DLC for it at all, you know?
No, they are.
What?
Yeah, that's actually something they're doing.
What? No!
Yeah. Now I was going to ask you if you were going to go back to it because now you can play as Ocelot.
Yeah, I seen on the notes. I was transitioning everybody, but I seen on the notes. Is it just playing as Ocelot? Is it missions for him? Is it?
Honestly, they didn't say if he was going to get like his own missions. They did say that he can go out on missions and you will get to. He is now a playable character.
Well,
It's free. It's a free update. So.
With the Metal Gear Solid games, I always go back every year and play them anyway. So I'm definitely gonna play it again just because I think they're great games. But yeah, I'll probably try it out just to play as Ocelot in the game. For those that didn't play 5 or playing it, I will say this is probably the worst representation of Ocelot in a franchise. So I'm wondering if they're giving him any story with it.
To try to flesh him out.
There was a lot of backlash with it. He was one of the most story-based characters.
He's a big part.
You never knew what story on. At the end of the day, he was the final boss in the franchise, technically.
Yeah.
You know what
Which
I mean?
is funny because when I first played the first Metal Gear Solid game, I never would have suspected.
And he's the first boss as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I think is hilarious. And I feel like he had that in his mind. Like,
Also, your first boss in 3.
yeah. So I'm wondering if this is because I know a lot of people were disappointed with him. Like, you see him in the game, you're like, oh, well, let's get a little more background. At the end of the day, it was just kind of there in the game. Like, he never gave any background story. Not like Eli. When they added Eli in the story, that gave a lot of background story. But
Yeah.
it's just like, just there. So, I don't know. But I definitely play. Once again, I had no problems with the gameplay for this Metal Gear. This Metal Gear was probably the best when it came to controls, gameplay, environment, missions. It was just the funnest game. When it came to overall story, though, that's where I was disappointed.
Yeah, and it's really funny though because like it almost didn't. It almost felt like because Kojima knew he was on his way out that he just kind of was like, you know what, I don't really want to say that he just didn't care anymore because I feel like Metal Gear's his baby.
Yeah, and like I said, the gameplay itself was amazing. There is that gameplay. You could get lost in one of those missions for the longest just because how fun it is. My big issue with the game is it just didn't feel like a Metal Gear when it came to story. That's all.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. So there was some fan art that leaked that someone turned Chris Evans from the new Infinity War trailer because he
Yeah,
has
Chris
a beard,
Evans.
yes, into Big Boss for Metal Gear.
You think that's Big Boss?
I think it's technically supposed to be Snake, but
Yeah.
Snake didn't have a beard.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
He did. Wasn't like that though. Wasn't that full.
Nah.
It was a really,
And if you grabbed the razor as Raiden, you shaved it by the end of it.
really.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
God, I know everything about Metal Gear Solid 2. I demolished that game.
Wow.
I probably could run through that game with my eyes closed now. It's ridiculous.
Jesus. Yeah, I played through 2 probably like 2 or 3 times. 3 is the one I went through the most. But what do you think? Like, now we know there's a Metal Gear movie in the making.
Like I'm going to say, I've always been worried about a Metal Gear movie just because I feel there's never been a good video game movie. I would say my 2 top ones that I think are decent, and I'm not even saying good, just decent, are Prince of Persia, which is still not a great movie, just a decent video game movie, and Assassin's Creed. And one of the only things I've really liked about Assassin's Creed is they were bold, and during the Spanish Inquisition did not speak English in that movie. I thought that was a great choice. But even that wasn't an amazing movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was a decent one. So
Yeah.
I just don't see them ever doing a good video game movie. I think it's impossible.
What I will say is, I think Metal Gear may have the best chance to. And here's my only reason why. Literally, Metal Gear is a James Bond.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you could make a spy movie with some slight science fiction in it, and I think you could do that really well.
Here's my issue on that comparison. One of the best things about James Bond and what people like is in the movie he's going to Costa Rica, he's going to France, he's traveling to all these different things, changing his clothes, his appearance, playing different characters, stuff like that. Every single Metal Gear game, besides I'd say 5 and a little bit of 4, all take place in really central locations. So it's hard to tell.
And very isolated.
Yeah, it's because think about it this way: if you want to transfer the first game, first off, Metal Gear Solid, skip the Nintendo stuff to the first, you're gonna have to give all this background story about Big Boss and Liquid and all that, and then you're gonna have to take a whole movie, let's say 2.5 hours, 3 hours, in just one isolated Alaskan military base.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a tough thing. I also feel like no actor will ever be Snake with David Hayter. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear anybody else say that.
I don't even think David Hayter could be Snake because he's so old.
Now,
he's getting
I
old.
agree with you, but when it comes to voices, that's the only voice I can hear.
I agree.
So, is it a cool picture? Yeah, absolutely, it's a cool picture. I just,
I mean, we're getting a Snake. You know the movie's happening. So who would you want then? Because I actually saw this and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind Chris Evans. Because we're not going to get David Hayter's voice. We're not going to get David Hayter. Unless they pull a Vader.
just
have a guy.
over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Back in the day, I always wanted Kurt Russell, who was like 90 now, only because that's who Solid Snake was based off of.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Snake Plissken. Now, I to be honest, I don't know who I'd want to play Solid Snake. The only big boss I can see perfectly in my head that I always wanted to Lee Nelson. I would love him to play Big Boss.
Okay.
But I never had anybody in my mind for who I'd want to Snake. Like I said, Kurt Russell for a while. Maybe Hugh Jackman.
Oh.
So, it's just...
I could maybe see Hugh Jackman.
You
I don't know if Hugh Jackman would want to do it again, only because I feel like since he got off of Wolverine and now he can eat cake and all, maybe he doesn't want to stay in shape.
No.
He's like, you know what? Can I get a role where I can just be fat? I'll gain the weight myself. I don't even need a fat suit. Just let me do it.
So, but Snake's a hard character to do, because at the end of the day, David Hayter literally, and not a lot of people realize this, he gave you enough to make Snake relevant, but not enough that you couldn't project yourself on him. You know what I mean? That's was the coolest thing about Snake. You really never knew his backstory. You know what I mean? Eventually, you knew he was a clone, a big boss, and not even a full clone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was still created with a woman and all that. He was still born. The only true clone was Solidus. And it was the coolest thing about Snake. It was mystery. You know what I mean? Wonder what he did in Alaska all those years after he retired. You know what I mean? Besides raising, Alaskan dogs.
Maybe he danced with wolves.
Maybe. So I will say this. This sounds terrible and awful. If it is somebody, I would want them to be American.
Wow, you're racist.
It's not a racist thing, you know what I mean? Only because I feel like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't want to see a Gerard Butler. You know what I mean? Or it could be someone English, as long as they do an American accent, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to see Gerard Butler in there,
Yeah, I understand that because the character is supposed to be American, so I can respect that.
Whoa. He has no borders or boundaries.
Okay. Let's be honest. Though.
Okay.
He's
To quote the man, Solid Snake, okay? Yeah, I'm just a tool of the government, but at least I always fall for what I believe in. God, it's such a great franchise. I was from Metal Gear Solid 2.
I know.
And one.
Love those.
Great Fox said it to him. So if they did a movie, though, what would you want it to be based off of? Let's take it, we can do from Metal Gear
I think
all the way to Metal Gear 5.
I think you start with Metal Gear Solid.
So skip Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2.
Yes, and here's my only reason why. Actually, you know what? I think you'd have to start with Metal Gear 3. I don't think you could do a flashback. I think you have to start, But I think if you started with 3 isn't to the point where I think you really need to give too much backstory of the original NES games. You know what I mean? I feel like you can give, maybe one of those things where kind of flashbacky, where you can see things that have happened in the past, but you don't need to make.
Well, 3 takes place before the SNES games.
Oh, yeah, 3 is first,
Three-
technically.
three, yeah,
and then
three.
you have
3 is the first in the
Peacekeeper.
timeline. That
I-
takes place in the 60s.
And then it's like
Peacekeepers in the
I mean,
70s.
Peace Walker. I don't know why I said
Yeah, Peace Walker's in the 70s, and then technically third in the timeline would be 5. And that's in the 80s.
Yeah. So I think you start with 3. You go through to 5. Obviously, you're going to go out of order. You do Peace Walker 5, and then you go into Solid. And you do 1, 2, and 4. And then you end it off. Because that fight with Ocelot,
It was a big, impactful fight.
yeah.
I feel like it's too complicated. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
I've tried to explain that story to my wife before, and her nose started bleeding.
don't get me wrong. I think Metal Gear in general is complicated. I don't even see people going to see this who aren't fans, personally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't.
And as much as I hate to say this, and I feel bad because I'm such a Metal Gear fan, sometimes there's things that they do that people just, like Nintendo, look away because it's Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, as much as I love 4 and great, everything in that game was explained with nanomachines. Everything. Why can't Vamp die? Nanomachines.
Yeah.
Why is Raiden awesome even though he was corny in part 2? Nanomachines.
Yeah.
Why did Fox Die take so long to kill me? Nanomachines.
I actually was really mad with the whole Vamp thing when they said that because I was always kind of like, Vamp to me was like one of those just like odd characters, like Liquid. You know what I mean? Like it was just cool to have a character who's like he literally is like a vampire.
Yep.
And then they were like, no,
Nanomachines.
he's technically human.
Yep. So, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of things that fans forgive. You know what I mean? That somebody on the outside that is not a Metal Gear fan would never forgive.
Yeah.
I mean, they would call it out for being stupid. Like, hey, that's the dumbest thing in the world. The best way I can compare it is when you're a wrestling fan, you will forgive the dumbest things the WWE does. You know what I mean? But let somebody else that is not a wrestling fan sit down and watch a wrestling match. All they do is nitpick everything that's wrong. Right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what would happen if a movie comes out. Or when the movie
Well, look
comes
at it this way. At least they never said Mantis could float and all because of nanomachines.
This is true.
They make a Metal Gear 6 Konami does themselves. They're like, Mantis, nanomachine.
Nanomachines. I'd be honest, yeah, you're right. I think Psycho Mantis was probably one of the only supernatural characters in that whole franchise.
That stayed supernatural.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really have
And
an
that's because they killed him off really early.
Well, they brought him back in 5.
4 even. He was in 4 and 5.
Yeah. Well, wait, where was he in 4?
He possesses.
You're right. Yes. I forgot all about that.
You're welcome. Metal Gear Solid.
Woo! I actually had one more thing of news we're going to do real quick. This isn't like anything super huge, but Nintendo gave out their quarterly reviews, and they said how many Switches have sold. 4.7 million. Yeah, it's doing pretty well.
I'd say so.
I think while I would say that number, they're selling through stock, obviously, because you can't find them.
Correct. And the only ones that people seem to get are those unwanted bundles that places are selling.
That's another thing I want to get into. We'll go there right after this because that's another thing I find super annoying. But now, obviously, this is good. I don't really personally find it very impressive, and here's my only reason why. Because yes, they are selling through stock, but I don't know if they're selling through stock because so many people want it, or if Nintendo just can't keep up with,
I don't feel like they shot themselves in the foot because obviously the system's doing well, selling out still. But I do feel like Nintendo, they try this with every system. They release a limited number of them, and you know what I mean. It worked for the Wii, it worked for your other system, didn't work for the Wii U.
No.
This time it's working. I feel like I can say that normally if PlayStation tries something like this, it would kill them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Switch doing this, I feel like you have a lot of success doing this because I think Nintendo does like being that second system. You know what I mean? They don't care about being your main system. They want to be that family system that you keep in the living room, while you keep your PS4 in your room. You know what I mean?
Which I thought was kind of funny that I feel like their messaging is slowly changing back to classic Nintendo. Because when the Switch was first revealed, all adults were playing it.
Yeah.
And they kind of made it seem more like this was going to be, the system looks way sleeker, looks more adult. But it kind of feels like they're going back to, all right, we're family friendly, also for kids. I mean,
I think what they're going to attempt to do was what they did with the GameCube, where they pushed down your throat how friendly family they were, but then they released some really decent rated M games.
Yeah.
And they kept that on the low, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, pick up Mario Sunshine. It's amazing. Killer number 7's also on there.
Yeah.
What was that? So
I can agree with that. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not super impressed. It's great that it's selling well because that means well for Nintendo, and software is even selling well on it.
Yeah.
Although there isn't much to buy, so
that I was going to say, I probably picked up almost every game on it,
yeah.
except for like 2 or 3. So it's only because there's not much else on it. You know what I mean? Like you're looking for that next. I think, and I can't speak for everybody, but I know I'm personally looking for that next Breath of the Wild, like something like, wow, you know what I mean? I gotta play my Switch. I'm coming home every day, picking up my Pro Controller and playing it, and I feel like that hasn't come out yet. Well, you know what I mean? This month we got 3 big releases on it. You got Troll and I, Sonic Mania. Troll and I's been on everything since forever. It's finally getting released on the Switch.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania is coming out the 15th, which is one of the first times it's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we got Mario Rabbids at the end of the month. So will any 3 of those be the one that grabs somebody's attention? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to wait for Mario.
Yeah. Odyssey. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. I was really hoping that Splatoon was really gonna make me sink my teeth back in.
It's a good game, but like I said, I agree with you on.
It's beautiful. It's fun, but I find myself just slowly getting bored when I play it.
I feel like had Switch been my only system, Splatoon would have been something I dived head into.
Yes.
Like, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this. The fact that I can go and play Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 12 on something else, it's like, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick Splatoon over that.
Yeah.
Like Zelda, I can legitimately say I'll play Zelda before anything. You can look at the back of my neck and realize that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Splatoon isn't something that is going to pull me away from my PS4.
I
You know
agree.
what I mean?
And that's the problem I keep running into with my Switch as well. No matter what, I keep going back to my PS4. Like, my PS4 seems to still be the main thing I'm on. And I thought Splatoon might be the thing that keeps me off it for a little while. I really only get off to play Splatoon for maybe an hour or 2 a day, and then I'm like, alright, time to go back to PS4.
Well, you saw when you came over today, what was I playing?
You're playing Kingdom Hearts on the PS4.
On the PS4, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's,
And I'm not saying I regret getting Splatoon, but I do kind of, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for doing it.
I will say,
Because it was $60 that I could have put towards something else on my PS4 maybe that I would have been playing.
this. I don't mind buying every hard copy game I did buy on the Switch. Anything I downloaded on it, I've regretted.
Yeah.
Because I went download crazy when that thing first came out, and there's so many games I probably never will touch.
Again.
I deleted Snake Pass. I'm never going to play that again, to be honest. That was $20 right there. You know what I mean? I probably the only ones I really am glad I bought was Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
And I said Shovel Knight already, right?
Yeah.
That was about it. Everything else I feel like is a mistake because I could have got it on another console, or you know what I mean. It was
Even Shovel Knight, though, you could get on another console.
back your mouth off.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Shovel Knight on the go is amazing.
It is. I think Shovel Knight is a perfect classic game that it does make sense to have on the go.
Okay.
My only problem with the Switch has been the D-pad, and I like to play side-scrollers with a D-pad, not an analog stick. Personally.
I can see, you know, I can agree with that.
Yeah, and I don't like that the D-pad for the Switch because, and I get why it is the way it is, because, you know, each Joy-Con has to be a full controller as well, but it's really annoying when you want to, like, I wish they would come out with a second left Joy-Con that had a traditional D-pad just in case I wanted to just, you know, play a single-player game by myself without having to worry about those buttons down there.
I can understand that.
But you were talking about the bundles, and I did want to get into that.
Yes.
Because I feel like
Stupid bundles.
that is so anti-consumer. You know, there are people out there that want this console, but they may not want to buy a controller.
An extra controller, 2
Games.
games, add free carrying case.
There are some people that all they can afford at the moment is the console, and they're like, you know what, I'll get a game next time, but I can't do it right now. And you're
So,
preventing them from
Who's doing this bundle though? It's not actual Nintendo.
No. Nintendo has not done any bundles yet for any Switches. It's all retail-only bundles. So like GameStop, for an example, they'll say, you cannot buy a Switch after we sell through this many single Switches unless you do a bundle. So you can't buy a Switch unless you buy it. So basically they're holding the console ransom.
And to me, how are they getting away with that though?
because they just can. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
That's what confuses
no one can tell them they can't do it.
Yeah.
They basically pay for the supply, and then they can do what they want.
So I think it's very unfortunate, and it really annoys me because, like you said, I'm more mad at the fact that they're forcing 2 games on you, and there's nothing you can do.
Well, back when the Xbox 360 came out, when I waited in line for it, I was forced to buy a bundle. I didn't even have all the money. I saved up my money to get a 360. I didn't have enough money to get the bundle. My mom spotted me the rest of the money to get it. And it was almost like 600 something bucks after, because I had to buy. I bought the console that was $400. That was the one that came with the hard drive, because they did have the $300 one that you didn't get a hard
I
drive.
remember that.
It was stupid to not get one with the hard drive, so we got that one. I had to buy a media remote, which I did not want.
Nobody did.
I had to buy 2 games, which I got Oblivion. Oh, I got 3. I had to buy 3 games. I'm sorry. So it actually was more than 600 after I say this. But I got Oblivion because I really wanted Oblivion. I really wanted Call of Duty 2, and I got King Kong. Was it King Kong? Yeah, King Kong.
It was actually a pretty fun game.
It was pretty good. But that was the one that I kind of was like, I just got it because I needed to have a 3rd game, apparently. And then I had to get Xbox Live. And I was just like...
to me, it's just a smack in the face. It's so mean.
Yeah, and I've never done it again. Anytime I go to a store to pick up a console, if they're like, oh, we only do bundles if you want it, nah, I'm good. I'll buy it on Amazon to order it. I don't care if I have to wait because I don't want all this extra stuff.
And to me, like, I granted, even me who bought everything extra for the Switch, like you've been here, you've seen my Switch collection, my games, my remotes. If there's something that got released for the Switch in the first couple months, I got it.
You look like the Switch section of GameStop.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty sure I got more stuff over there than that.
Yeah.
I got the cases, I got everything. Every amiibo that came out. Even me, I don't like being forced something like that. It's what pisses me off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing. To me, it's just like, it's like you said, a slap in the consumer's face. You know what I mean? If I only want one game on it, that's all I really want on it.
And like they've done bundles where like you get Breath of the Wild, which is for a lot of people that game that they're buying the Switch for. But I just feel like it kind of just makes people take a step back, and it's like, I do want this game, but I don't want the Pro Controller with it that's $70. I don't want all these other things that you're...
And, well, that's another thing, man. It's not like the controllers and the accessories for the Switch are cheap.
No.
And I will give them that. Every time people have attacked Nintendo on their Pro Controller being so expensive, on their Joy-Con being expensive, they do say, hey, our controllers literally have more in it than Sony's and Microsoft's combined. I get that. But they're still expensive as hell, man.
Yeah.
$70 for an extra
I get that it has more stuff in it, and you can feel that it has more. It's heavy. I actually don't like how heavy the Pro Controller is sometimes. But I will say it's a sturdy controller. It feels good in my hands besides the weight. But it's hard to like want to spend $70, especially if you're someone who you have a bunch of kids. You have a bunch of Joy-Cons. But if your kids were like, I only want to play with a Pro Controller, you have one, right?
I have one.
Yeah, like, and that gets hard. Like, what if everyone wants a Pro Controller?
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, and they are super expensive.
That's $280 for 4 Pro Controllers, not including tax.
Yeah. To play Pro life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 because I wanted one and my girlfriend wanted one, and of course, as soon as I bought mine, I dropped it on the concrete of the outside my house. So mine, you can tell which one's mine because it has these chips in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it sucks.
I'd get rid of it.
I
Just throw it away, man. Call it a loss.
I've thought about it.
The Splatoon controller came out for it. What do you think?
So, I kind of got into an argument with someone on the internet about this controller. Surprise, surprise, when it comes to Nintendo, right? I said I liked the controller. I just wish that the splats that were on it weren't black, because it's really hard to notice.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish they were also pink and green. Just the splats. Like, still let it be the see-through, like, black, and then have the splats on top of it. And someone's like, no, I think the black looks way better, and it's just stupid. Why would you want, like, I think the pink and green grips at the bottom is enough. I'm like, all right, what?
Well, you shouldn't have an opinion on the internet. That's your fault.
I know.
I just brought it up because I had one concern about it. Really? Splatoon? That's when you lost your mind over release? Breath of the Wild, I couldn't get exclusive Zelda controller for? Couldn't get one for Mario? You know what I mean?
Fingers crossed for Xenoblade. I'm hoping they pick these really like low key niche games to do it.
It's really weird. Like, and I'm gonna be honest, as much as I just cried about $70, if they release a Breath of the Wild Pro controller with like a Triforce in the corner at the bottom, tiny, I would pay $70 for that.
Well, I know that they did release ARMS Joy-Cons. The yellow ones are the ARMS ones.
Another really low key weird game though.
Yeah, they also released Splatoon Splatoon Joy-Cons in Japan, the green and pink. So it's like, man, I wonder if they're going to do something for Mario Odyssey. I did find it odd that they didn't do anything special for Zelda. Like, nothing at all. They just had the carrying cases, really, but you didn't do a limited edition Zelda console, which I loved the Wii U one.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have a Switch one. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild personally, I still love Zelda. Like, I would love, instead of on the back of my Switch, of having the Switch logo, have, like, the Triforce. I think that would be so sick. In gold. But they didn't do anything for that. Japan is getting a Monster Hunter console, but it's not coming to the U.S.
Jerks.
So it's just, it's weird that, like, these games are... Don't get me wrong, Monster Hunter makes sense. It's huge. And it wouldn't surprise me if also in Japan they do a Dragon Quest special edition where it's all blue.
Looks like a dragon.
No, it looked like a slime.
Yes. What's that?
But
all right, man. Come on.
Let's get out of this.
Get your recommendation, brother.
All
We're
right.
going for an hour and a half today.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. We have no notes.
There was really nothing. There was nothing on here.
Listen, we're best friends. We can talk for hours.
We dragged it out. But so for my enthusiast pick, I'm actually going to pick something that came out really recently because I feel like it's one of those things that people aren't really going to give a chance, and I love it so far. And that's Pyre. I definitely think if you have the $20 to spare and you're looking for something fun to play, Pyre's it. Like, it's really good. It's really in depth. The story's there. I say give it a shot.
I like it. I love it.
Oh.
Fantastic. I'm giving it a shot. How about you?
Well, I own it.
Oh, okay.
I've been giving it shots.
All right. Well, how about you? To the people that can't see me pointing. That's a good job. $20. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't want to say anything too pricey.
No, mine's gonna be better next week, probably.
What?
So, well, this is
When's it gonna be
episode
more
34.
34.
Oh, I got it right this time.
Whoop whoop.
Once again, if you like what you heard, of course you did. Of course you liked what you heard. Okay? We might not got a lot of viewers out there, but we got the solid 33 that keep coming back. We love all of you, okay? You know what I mean? You never left us. You don't hit like, but you never left us, and that's what we appreciate.
You know what's weird, though? We actually get way more hits on SoundCloud than we do on YouTube.
You know what it bothers me, and I want you guys on SoundCloud to listen to this. Not that we don't appreciate your viewership. Zabo puts a lot of work into his videos, man. He edits for hours, days, making his funny videos and putting things in the corner and all that. I don't do any of that because I go on with my life. But I feel him. When I go at work and I watch these videos after we get through them, sometimes I like to watch them because they're up in the corner while I'm working. I mean, I want people to see that and appreciate it. Even my wife, who's a big fan of ours, has never watched a YouTube video. She always listens to us on SoundCloud. She had no idea that you had done an opening. You know what I mean? When she did see it, she was like, wow, this is really good. So
Yeah, I put a lot of work into our videos, and I thought about soon making a closing because I do think it's a little weird that the music plays and it's just still gameplay. So I thought about maybe making a closing with different games and stuff like that.
Or a picture of me and you high-fiving for an hour. So,
but I really would appreciate if people checked out the videos, especially if you start from our first video and you watch, you'll see the progression of like
our quality.
Yeah.
All because of you and my voice. So, you know what I mean? You know what they say, one is the talent, the other one's the brains. You know what I mean? I'm not saying who's who, but I'm more talented. So
we're like Pinky and the Brain, trying to take over the world.
Yeah. But if you like what you heard here on SoundCloud, please watch the video on YouTube as well. No, I'm just kidding. We're on SoundCloud, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube,
Facebook.
and Facebook. I forgot Facebook this time.
Yes.
You can always send us an email about what you want to hear next or any questions. Go ahead and leave a comment below on YouTube. Hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Just hit it.
We're trying to get likes.
Okay.
You guys watch it? I don't know. I know what it's like.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. YouTube doesn't care much about views anymore. They like the likes, man. And
I just think it's funny because I feel like every single person that watches our videos are like, I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike
it. So I'm giving it nothing. Even if you didn't like it, man, just hit that like. It takes 2 seconds. So I do understand you do need an account to like or dislike something.
Yeah.
So that is difficult. So make an account because it's 2017. Weirdo. But anyway, this is Jesse Nazaria.
And Will Zabo.
And we are out. Peace.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Yes, good. Now you're getting it.